What's happening, internet fam? It's another beautiful day here in Waikiki. It's a little bit overcast today. It's actually drizzling a bit, so I had to roll up the windows and close the sunroof. And I already went for my morning swim over the coral reefs. Coral reef? I'm not sure how to conjugate that. Yeah, I'm excited. I have a show tomorrow. I had to block some people on Facebook. I didn't like doing it. It sucks that we live in a world where people feel they can justify child abuse or justify, you know, the corporate control of our media or, you know, the corporate control of our government. And then also censor people who are arguing against that. It's, but I mean, you know, if they're just gonna censor somebody, then, you know, why, you know, that's ending the debate in a very unfair and irrational and unreasonable way. So I went ahead and blocked some people on Facebook. It felt weird to do, but I mean, you know, they're posting an argument against me and in favor of child support and child abuse in one instance, and then in favor of corporate whore candidates in the other. And then when I rebutted their comments, they deleted my comments. So at that point, you know, it's no longer a debate or a discussion. It's just, you know, being railroaded by ignorance and an evil kind of ignorance too. It's really, really disturbing. So so anyway, yeah, I blocked a couple people on Facebook, and good riddance to bad rubbish. That's how I look at it. That's, you know, I'd rather stay in the debate and continue to try and throw some kind of perspective that's not corporate, you know, into the arena at all times. But I mean, you know, when somebody's justifying child abuse and when somebody's justifying, you know, their corporate candidates, you know, collusion with big pharma and being paid by giant corporations, it's just, you know, and then censoring the opposition, which it was me in this case, naturally. It's kind of, you know, sorry, but you got to go. I just had to block them. It's not what I wanted to do, but you know, if they're deleting my comments and deleting what I have to say, and then, you know, I mean, that's not healthy for me to just be in a debate with somebody where they're just going to delete my part of the debate and then continue to, you know, lambaste me with their pro-corporate, pro-child abuse agenda. Very bizarre. But that's the world we live in, and it's very troubling. You know, people's reality and perspective are so horrendously flawed, and horrendously flawed by, you know, by the corporate media. You know, I mean, I'm complaining about the corporate media all the time, and it's real. You know, everybody's perspective is so bizarrely gross. I don't even know how to, you know, talk about it. You know, everybody's in favor of stripping, you know, innocent people's rights and taking innocent people's money, and in favor of, you know, unconstitutional government agencies like the Federal Reserve and the IRS and the CIA and the NSA, and you know, and the corporate media has everybody convinced that that's correct, that that's fair, that that's valid, that that's reasonable, and it's not. It's just not. It's evil and it's wrong. When you're taking somebody's money that they've worked hard to make and then spending it on these programs to then spy on the people whose money you're taking, in the case of the NSA, or you know, to build robots to murder children in the third world, which is what our military is now doing, has been doing for like 20 years now. You know, there's really no justification for that, and you know, when you're talking about eliminating people's rights to own weapons, to own guns, innocent people who have never done any kind of harm or violence to anybody, and you're saying, you know, now we can strip you of your right to protect yourself, that's really, really disturbing that that's even you know, I mean, and people are having protests for this. I mean, I saw a protest in Encinitas where people were protesting their own right to protect themselves. I'll never understand. That perspective is just so horrendously flawed and so obviously spoon-fed to them by television, by Stephen Colbert, by Trevor Noah, by these talking media heads who are just some of the most evil people on the planet. I mean, they really are. Stephen Colbert has defended John Podesta. He's defended Henry Kissinger. You know, he's defended the architects of genocide, and then does it, you know, with a smile and a laugh, as if, you know, and then when you point that out, you know, people get angry with you because they like to smile and laugh, and he's a comedian, and they think, oh, I like this guy. But the reality is, he is super evil. He's been working for Viacom for like, you know, 20 years or something, and he is definitely a part and parcel of the misinforming of the American populace, and in fact the global populace. And I mean, none of the media is covering what's happening in France. I posted a video last night. I'm sure it's being shadow banned on Facebook, but the cops are just beating the shit out of these French people. I mean, just, you know, just using billy clubs and just beating the crap out of old men and children and girls, and just, I mean, it's brutal. It is brutal. And, you know, what are the French people protesting? That 60% of their income is taken by the government, which seems like an unreasonable percentage to me. I mean, you know, the American Revolution was fought over like 10% tax, or something, or so 15%, something, I don't know, very low. And the French people are now paying 60% tax. That's the tax rate in France. It's like 60%. And so, of course, the people are out in the streets saying, hey, you know, we're tired of it. You know, we're tired of putting in 40-hour weeks and living on a, you know, a 25-hour salary. You know, that's not sustainable. And, you know, and it affects their lives. It affects their health. It affects their children. It affects their relationship with their children. And you know, total media blackout. You know, you're not seeing the cops beating the hell out of these people. You're not seeing the backroom dirty deals that Macron is pulling with these corporations to justify all this. I mean, you're not seeing any of this. They're not even telling you about any of this. They're just simply covering it up and then telling you, you know, oh yeah, Tulsi Gabbard and Elizabeth Warren, they're gonna save you. They're gonna do the right thing for you. You know, despite the fact that they have corporate sponsorship, the fact that they're both guilty of treason in my mind for supporting AIPAC and supporting everything AIPAC does. Just, you know, we've got to do something about this corporate media and the fact that people are believing it. Why are people believing this corporate media? It's just, I don't understand how you can believe anything you see on corporate television at this point. I really don't understand it. Okay, it's gonna get windy, but I figured I'd show you some pretty pictures of the beach after my big old political lecture. So let's go over there for a minute, shall we? I already went swimming on my favorite coral reef here in Waikiki, and did all my pull-ups. I skipped push-ups today. Did a lot of push-ups yesterday, so, you know, whatever. Let's take a look at how beautiful the ocean is. All these vacationers surfing and stuff.